Noswaith a chroeso I anedd llwybredau teledu. Yn anffodus, mae Matt ddim yn gallu gwneud y sioe heno, o rhaid I gyd gorfod cymryd drosodd. Ond mae'n llawer o bethau I ddiddanu, gyda tymer bach o'r fideo, newyddion a ffrwythradau. A nawr, dyma'r teitlau.
Hello.
It's like
Did you enjoy that? We thought that'd be a bit of fun for you guys, alright? So, hello. Happy Wednesday. And as you can see, I'm joined by Rian. Now, that is basically the way of introducing Rian full-time to the show. He is now going to be my partner in crime and co-host and everything else full-time. So, there we go. So, everybody, please welcome Rian on board. He is now a fully fledged member of the VTTV team. So, welcome, Rian.
Yay!
And as such, yeah. You were a bit nervous doing that, weren't you?
Yeah, let's just say I haven't spoken Welsh at that sort of speed and that phlegminess for a while. It mainly happens when I'm drunk and watching rugby.
So you wouldn't believe the logistics we had, the stuff we had to do to get this to happen tonight. It was quite a challenge, but yeah, it's fun. I think it's caught chat out a little bit.
Yeah.
Apparently, Dave the Round kept clicking subtitles, but no good came of it.
And B Pinker wants to let me die. Oh wait, no, she wants to let Welsh die. Thank you.
Simon says, "Can I keep a secret or what?" Yes, Simon was in on this as well. In fact, Simon helped with the Welsh.
Enough of it.
So basically, yes, we thought that you guys deserved, after the week we've had with the bad news and everything else. A bit of lightheartedness doesn't really go amiss every now and again, does it? So this show tonight is going to be quite a light show. Nothing too serious going on. We're just going to keep it a bit of fun. So, hi, have you got anything to say, Rian, since you're now a host?
Have a dear 40.
But your beard's not grown enough yet.
I know. It's the total eclipse fault. It stunted the growth.
I'll just put your full screen there so you can show your beard off properly. There you go.
How far is it compared to Davy Malik's?
Well, compared to Davy Malik, it's that's a ZZ Top level.
Yeah, I was also advised by Simon, go get a thick beard and just put it on, and then go, look what these do to me.
That wouldn't have been a bad idea. Perhaps some sort of carpet.
I've got plenty of rayon around, but not enough to cover.
Yeah, I probably have got enough actually. I've got a box of the stuff somewhere. I don't know where it is now. It's over there. I can't get that. It's too far away.
I could probably do ringlets.
Okay.
Rather than a beard.
So before we actually crack on then, I'd actually like to just recite something that happened to me this afternoon. This afternoon I popped down to the chip shop, so I like to have a bag of chips before I come onto the show on a Wednesday. And keeping in mind all this news recently about teenagers using e-cigarettes, I mean, this is vaguely topical. I go to the chip shop, and all the kids hang around the front of the chip shop there, and they're all puffing around their cigarettes. Not one e-cig there, actually, I'd like to point out, but they're all by the doorway of the chip shop. And I walk past and I've got this in my top pocket of my coat, just sort of sticking out. You can see the top of the tank, so it's kind of like that. And I heard some comments going, "Oh, have you seen that guy's e-fag? It looks like a gas canister." I just ignored them and walk past and ordered me chips. Anyway, so I come out, and one of them says to me, "Is that your e-fag?" I go, "Yeah." "Oh, right. How'd you get it so big?" I said, "Well, I rub it," and then wandered off. They were very confused.
Is it one of those e-sheesh things?
No, I've heard vape pen, but e-fag is the first time I've actually heard someone call it an e-fag.
There's probably a more unpolitically correct answer to that, which I probably say when I hear that, and I'm not going to say it now.
Yeah, this whole thing about teenagers vaping, this sort of thing, and no, they're all puffing away on cigarettes. And that's fine if they want to, but there we go. So that's my vaguely topical contribution to this week, really. I know it's not particularly insightful, but yeah, there we go. Right, I'm just going to have a quick look through chat before we go any further, and I've just realised I haven't got my mouse connected to this thing down here.
Oh dear.
And I can't scroll chat because if I do that, Skype will mess up. So I'll sort that out later. I didn't prepare myself properly.
This is the proof that we still have gremlins.
Yeah, with gremlin. Yeah.
That's what happens when I speak Welsh for a little bit. My tongue goes weird. Blah, blah, blah.
Does this all get knotted or something, does it?
Not enough phlegm.
Ah. Okie dokie then. I'll tell you what, I was going to play us off the adverts, but yeah, let's do this now. This is, again, in keeping with the light-hearted theme of this evening, this is sort of science. But basically, what I wanted to do, I wanted to do a comparison between open coils and micro coils. Now, open coils being a traditional wound coil, with gaps in it. So I did a little bit of VT of my experiment. So I'm going to roll that in now. So sit back and enjoy this. Right then, so this is how it's going to work. I've got two limos here. One is a limo drop, one is a standard limo. I forget which what. Right, the limo drop is on the vapor flask. So, for all intents and purposes, the difference between the limo drop and the limo when it comes to the deck is nil. There is no difference. Now, what I've done, I've wound two coils using 0.37 canfol, and I used this coil jig and I put 10 wraps around it. And on one I stretched the coil out to make it spaced, as you can see here, and in the other I've left it as a traditional micro coil. I've tried to keep the amount of wicking uniform. It's almost impossible to have identical amounts of wicking in them. So you'll have to bear with me on this. They both come out roughly the same ohms. I'm not going to fire them up to check at the moment because there's no juice on these, and as soon as I do, they will burn. But they both come out to about 1.9 ohms each. So let's just get these juiced up. We'll start with the drop first, and I want to get these saturated as I possibly can. So they're going to get very juicy indeed. Let's let that soak in. Let's just move on to this one. Now I'm using I forget the viscosity of his juice. I believe it is an 80% VG. Yes, it is an 80% VG. I remember I mixed this up now. Right. Most of the juices I've mixed now are 80% VG. So 20% of that is PG. Now the reason I'm using this juice is simply because I mixed it up. I really don't like it. So yeah, that's why. So let's get these very as soaked as we possibly can. I'll still see some dry bits here. These will both be firing at 30 watts, okay? So there's no difference in the power going to them. As I said, the ohmage is on each one 1.9 ohms, give or take point something or the other each way. You'll expect them to be different anyway, because one is spaced and one is a touching coil. Right, I think we can call those two pretty soaked. Again, obviously it's not 100% scientific, simply because I can't put the same amount of juice on each one and what have you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fire these both in unison now. So on your right will be the closed coil, micro coil, and on your left will be the open coil. So I'm going to fire both at the same time. Now what I want to see is which one burns first. Or I would imagine actually a cutout would happen first. So if a cutout happens, it should happen at the same time on each one. I'll just start them again and I will comment on the fact. Right, so here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Well, that was unexpected. They obviously got so hot it ignited the juice. Okay, they both went up basically at the same time there, didn't they? So let's give them a rest. This is an interesting experiment. Now, what I was hoping to see was one just not actual fire. I was hoping to see one dry up and away we go. But well, as we know, the juice is flammable. Right. Okay. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1. I'll tell you what. This is very, very interesting. I might have to rethink this approach. I mean, so far the vapor reduction on both coils seems to be pretty much identical. What I was hoping to see the open coil last longer than the closed coil, but I'm not entirely sure we're going to see that. So let's go again in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, this isn't. And these are both still pretty wet wicks. Now, what I have noticed is the wick has indeed shrunk. Now, I'm using rayon here. Now, rayon does indeed shrink when wet. So I'm wondering now. I'll take the rayon out and. Yeah, we'll take the rayon out, we put some Japanese cotton in. That should be a bit easier to cut more consistently, actually. So, right, let's just cut to that now. Right, so we're back now, and as you can see, I've re-wicked them, and I've juiced them up already. I've used, as much as I can, an equal amount of cotton and an equal amount of juice on each one. So let's try it again. I've taken the skin of the Vapor Shark because some juice got down the side of it, and that needs washing out, so... I've done one juice sitting in there. So then, as before, the open coil is on your right and the closed coil is on your left. So, in 3, 2, 1. Ah. Okay. That's asking if that's a new coil. Right. That's put a bit more juice on there again. Otherwise, I mean, it didn't use much, but I need to keep this as fair as we possibly can. Interesting, because that's a Canfal coil, but there we are. Right. Right, in 3, 2, 1. Right, so what we saw there then, we saw the microcoils like burn, actually heat up a lot quicker than the open coil. So let's apply some juice to this again, because I'm not going to cool it just yet. Let's try and cool these down a little bit. There we are, and across there as well. And there's no way I can make this 100% accurate. I mean, this is certainly not scientific. It's just more to satisfy myself, really. So, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so what appears to be happening there then is, as you can see, the vapour that's coming off the microcoil was a lot more intense. It was squirting out the sides as such. It was, it was projecting out the sides of the coil. Whereas on the open coil, it was travelling more of an upwards motion. It wasn't really pushing out the sides. I mean, the vapour reduction seemed to be pretty much identical. No real difference there, but as I say, is a more of a violent vapour on the microcoil. So I'm not going to juice these up again. I'm just going to fire these off again in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. So what we're seeing here is basically the closed coils are allowing the juice to come from the end of the wick and actually travel between the coils, whereas the micro coil, it's pushing all the vapor out. So what in essence it's doing, it's basically the juice is actually being forced to the outside of the coil. That's the best I can really describe it. But let's remove these wicks now. So in the open coil, I mean, it has shrunk down a fair amount there, and they were pretty snug in there when I put them in, and yeah, they don't appear to be that harmed, to be honest. I mean, if I was to burn these completely dry, and I should have, right, the coil from the micro, the wick from the micro does seem to be appear to be a bit drier than the wick from the open coil. So it does seem to use up the liquid quicker in a micro coil than in an open coil. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give these a dry burn and clean them up a little bit, and rinse these juice off them because I really don't like the juice. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a vape, and I'll report back what it feels like actually vaping on these coils comparatively. I'll report back later on that. Well, for you it'll be in moments, but for me it's going to be in a day or so because I'm going to spend a day vaping on the pair of them. So okay, that's it for Mo, or for now. Right, I'll see you in the next jump cut thingy. Okay, so last we saw then, and that was a day or so ago, we had 2 limos, one with a closed microcoil, so a coil squished together with no gaps, and one with a standard coil with gaps. Now, if you recall, the Limo drop was the one with the gaps, and this is sitting on a Vapor Shark DNA 30. I don't think I made that clear in the close-ups actually. These are both Vapor Sharks. One's a DNA 30, one is a DNA 40, and I'm going to have them both set at the same wattage. Let me just make sure they're the same. I'm going to set them both at 25 because that's what I'm comfortable vaping these Limos with as a rule. And also the DNA 30, well, funny enough, will only go up to 30 watts, won't it? So for the sake of comparison, I'm going to keep them both the same. I mean, if you really want me to, actually. Yeah, okay. I take it off the DNA 30. Let's make it completely identical. I'll stick it on another DNA 40. All right, different mod, but it's a DNA 40 on there, and 225 watts. Right. Okay. So. Right, that's switched into voltage mode. Good. Right.
So this is the Limo with the open coils at 25 watts. And this is the Limo with the closed coils, again at 25 watts. Now, just making sure these wicks are primed. I mean, they should be okay. I'm not getting a burnt here or anything, but I want to give it a fair chance. And we see a nice bubble going up there. And we do the same on the other one. And we see some nice bubble action up there as well. So, again then, with the open coils at 25 watts. Some decent cloud action. Let's just clear that. To be fair, I can't really tell the cloud apart. They're both set to the maximum open airflow because that's the easiest way of doing it. I could either set it open as much as you could or close as much as you could. You know, the decks are identical on the things, so that was the easiest way for me to set it. So they're both open as far as they can be. They're both at the same wattage. Now, cloud wise, they're the same. Throw hit, they're the same, and there are the same juice in there as well. Not the good awful stuff I used to test it with, but a juice that I vape on a daily basis. It's an 80% VG. VG, not PG, VG. I vape that an awful lot. Not when I'm at work because it will cloud the entire office up and I'll get in trouble. But I do vape it when I'm at home. And yeah, so that's, you know, throw hit and vapor production the same. Flavour wise, the open coil edges it ever so slightly. Not much, ever so slightly. But what we're really interested in here is the wicking capabilities. Now, I've built these as nigh identical as I can. Okay, they're not identical because they can't be, but as close as I can possibly make it, they are the same. And I've got them through a tank each. These have both been refilled. I've actually drained the tank on the drop. I've drained the tank on the full size. Now, granted, draining the tank on the full size would actually mean getting through more liquid on this one than that one. And if I'm honest, both of them perform fine. So, my only real conclusion that I can give is coil the way that suits you. There is no better option really with open coils versus closed coils. I know there's been a lot of debate on the forums about this, and this is why I've done this little bit of VT. And this is my personal experience. I can't speak for everybody, obviously, because I can only speak from what I'm using. I've had no dry hits from the open. I've had no dry hits from the closed. They've both kept up admirably. I'm just waiting for one of them to make a liar of me, but no. As I say, the flavour was slightly better on the open, but really not by much. I mean, that's a lot of neat, you know. Yeah, it's a lemon flavour I'm vaping here, and I get a bit more lemon out of the open than I do with the closed. That's about as much as I can give. So yeah, coil the way that suits you. Unless it's nickel wire, then you want your coils to be open, because that's a whole other thing entirely. But yeah, for a standard Canfell build, just do what you're used to, okay? And I think that'll do. Cheers.
So there we go. I did say it wasn't particularly scientific, didn't I? Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the adverts and then we'll come back and we'll have a little chat about that, okay? So, see you in a few minutes.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of vapetrails.tv.
Healthy Vape, UK purveyor of e-cigarettes and e-liquids. Proud sponsors of vaping entertainment on Vapor Trails TV.
RY4 Radio.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of vapetrails.tv.
I pressed the wrong button, didn't I? Silly me. Right, okay then, so, yeah, the VT you just saw, and it was a VT, as I believe at Spiritus Vapes, you just suddenly realised that wasn't live. Basically then, I wound 2 coils of the same amount of turns, one stretched out, so I had gaps in it, one standard micro coil, and fired them both at the same wattage. And just see what I preferred. Turns out I preferred the open coils. So yeah, there we go. Like I did say, wasn't particularly scientific. It was done more for my own fun and curiosity more than anything else. But I thought, yeah, it's a bit of VT, and I figured someone might get some value from it. What do you prefer, Rian? Open or closed coils?
Well, considering I've got starting using nickel and using open ones, I guess I'll find out.
Right. Okay. So have you always wound a micro coil? Have you?
Yeah.
Right.
On what whether it be a K-Fun, Genesis, or a Gripper, yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what I was taught to do by Rob after the Welsh Assembly demonstration.
Right.
June last year. Pretty much.
It's because when I started coiling, micro coils hadn't really happened at that point. So the accepted wisdom was, at that point in time, no one was using cotton. It was just a silica wick, and you wound your coil around it and popped it in your Vivi Nova or whatever, and away you go. So, and I still like to do that now and again. In fact, I still prefer the K-Fun with a silica wick. Don't know if you ever tried that.
Probably be something that I'll have to try.
Okay. Well, if you're short on silica, give us a shout, 'cause I've got loads of it still.
I've got loads of rayon.
Ah, right. Just to illustrate, actually. Hang on. And everything just went. There's my silica stash. So,
Big box of stuff.
yeah, I've got a fair bit of it. So, is it time for your VT now, is it?
I guess it is.
You guess it is. Now, for the comment earlier that I was hogging all the airtime, now I'm trying to split this 50-50. So much so that Rian has actually recorded some VTs. So, let's play this and then go to the adverts and then we'll chat about it. Okay, so, see you on the other side.
Hi. As part of my pseudo initiation to the VDTV team, and especially on the cave, Matt has challenged me to use stainless steel mesh, but as a coiling material instead of a wicking material as you would associate with Genesis atomizers. For example, the Kraken. Don't know whether you can see it. Just there. You have a stainless steel mesh wick. But instead, I am going to be doing a coil. So, without further ado, here we go. The first thing is, instead of going straight onto the Kraken, I am going to put it in a dripper, because then, because drippers have a little bit more room to play with compared to the narrowness of a Genesis. So I'm going to do it on that first, and then if everything goes to plan, I'll put it on the Kraken. So, let's start by blowtorching this thing up. I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to record it, because there's plenty of YouTube videos out there for it, using the same heat up, flatten, roll and heat up method as you would do with an SS mesh wick anyway. So I'm going to skip that. I'm going to have some fun now, and then start coiling up on a dripper. See you in a bit. So, I had another idea. Oh, excuse me. So I had another idea of how to attempt this. This is the so-called coil of me trying to roll it up. But then I thought, let's try to attempt it with twisting it. So I've got to heat this up again, do what I did with the juice and fire it up and whatnot. So what I did to get this, I took a strip of about 1 centimetre wide mesh, folded it in half, clamped one end in some pliers, and put the other end into a drill and twisted it. So essentially what I've got is some twisted, well, as you can see, it's twisted stainless steel mesh wire. So, back in a bit. So I've got my 2 twisted steel mesh wires here. I'll probably use this one for this on the Kraken, and the thicker one on the dripper. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can twist these a little bit more by hand, because actually they should fit through the post holes as they are. So I'm going to give them a trim down, wrap them around my 3mm screwdriver, and get it on the dark, here we are, the dark horse base, and see if we can do another test wire. I'm not going to bother filming that, because creating a coil out of anything is creating a coil, isn't it? As you can see, I managed to get it in a little bit better than this time. So yeah, there you go. This is the hole through it. Just about, come on, autofocus. Okay, I'll take you out a bit then. Yeah, there's a little bit of overhang over the side. But I can sort that out. Let's test the resistance of it. I'm expecting it to be quite low as it was in the previous attempt, but who knows? Right, that's actually twice as high. I don't know if you can see, but that is 0.53, yeah. You'll have to take my word for it. 0.53. So let's see if it works on a box mod. So I've got my trusty Cigelli. Actually, let me adjust that a bit. There we are. So trusty Cigelli. Let's have a toot first. Yep, that's working fine. That's coming at 0.2 something, so let's get the stripper off. Let's get the Dark Horse deck on. Stand that in there for now. Yep, screws are tight. Right, the issue we had last time is that it shorted. And it seems to be picking up okay now. I'll drop that down to, I don't know, 12. Let's drop it down to 26 and see what happens. Oh, we get some glowing. Some. Not much. So let's pump it up then. Right, let's put it at the equivalent of 4.2, which would be around 32. There we go, let's see. Something there. Seems to be hotter on the inside of the coil than the outside. So let me attempt to wick this up and I'll take it from there. There we are, wicked up now. Let's get some more crappy juice on it and see how it goes. Because you gotta remember is that when you used to use stainless steel mesh as a wicking material, it was actually quite well, it wasn't great. It's not the same as cotton, but field test number 1, isn't it? And I put this up to 50 because I noticed that the insides of the coils were getting hotter than the outside. So not particularly great, must admit. But it is firing. So there's probably hope for us yet on the Genesis. Here we have it. Ah, and as I trim it off, it comes undone. doing here, I'm using my back thumbnail to secure it down, which I should have done with the top one. That's much better. And if I just trim that off. As close as I can. Oh, and look at it, it's done it again. Oh. And the top parts come off as well. Oh, right. No wonder people don't use stainless steel mesh as a coil material. Oh, I am going to see this through. Oh, if it frigging kills me. Well, not if it kills me, but you get the idea. So here you have it. The Kraken. With Rian in, because that's what I had to hand. And yeah, works alright. Let me just trim this off. Oh, the only downside of doing that is pulling your wick out. Oh, you're not in there. That's probably good enough for me, so what I'll do is here we go. Yeah. So what we got? Decent. So what I'll do, I'll let that soak through, and then yeah, I'll have a go of it. Fab. Didn't expect that. So, that was my challenge. And didn't go the way I hoped for in the first place. So, I had to change my tactics a little bit. But, it was interesting. First time I've ever used stainless steel mesh. And not in the way you would usually use it. So, here we go. There you go. Kraken on an ice stick at 30. Might have to crank it up a bit. So let's have a go. Well, that's definitely aniseed. And it's not really heavy. But tasting quite metallic, I must admit. But I wouldn't recommend you do it. I don't know how you old guys used to do it with stainless steel mesh wick. That's enough. Don't know whether that or it's the actual liquid, because I don't really like that one. That's why I used it for burning the coils up. I wish I put a decent one in now. Whoa. Anyway, back to me and Matt.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of VapeTrails.tv.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Award-winning service and products from cloud9vaping.co.uk.
Vapors, Dripper just got 40% bigger. So if you love discovering new e-liquids, tell Dripper what flavours you like and we'll send you 70ml of juice and at least 5 flavours. With a money-back guarantee and free delivery anywhere in Europe, dripper.co.uk.
What's in this e-cig cloud? Harmless water vapour, right? Pretty much, yes. Compared to a lit cigarette, it's much safer than smoke. But it contains nicotine, and nicotine on its own isn't toxic and doesn't cause cancer. If you're worried about switching to vapour, here are some facts. No tar, no smoke, no burnt tobacco. Cooking your evening meal produces more toxins than are found in exhaled vapour. Tobacco smoke contains toxins at very high levels, and vapour does not. And that vapour contains 6,000 times less carcinogens than cigarette smoke. Electronic cigarette vapour. There's nothing to be frightened of. The only dangerous electronic cigarette is a banned one.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of vapetrails.tv.
And we're back. So there we go. That was Rian's first VT. Didn't you do well? And yeah, no. Oh, all right then. Right.
I need more lighting, apparently.
Do you? Oh right. Okay. What you want to do is get a couple of limos and just fire them, and they catch on fire.
I might have to do that then.
Yeah, that'll do, won't it?
But they'll have to be on DNA 40s, won't they?
Well, no. You don't want them at DNA 40, see? Because they'll cut out before they catch on fire.
Ah.
Yeah.
Rookie mistake, see?
Ah, you see.
Rookie mistake.
How long have you had that DNA 40 nation? Know that?
Oh, since Saturday.
Oh, there we go then. So have you still got that atomizer to hand, have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's put you full screen. There you go, you're full screen.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, it looks all right, but I take it doesn't taste particularly good then.
No, it was, I think it's a failed attempt at Jaeger bomb and the aniseed's just gone. Yeah. Let me take the cap off. There it is.
Hang on, I'll full screen you again. One moment.
Oh, sorry, man.
So I took you off, you see, while you was fiddling. Go on, do that again.
There you go.
Oh, that's crackling nicely, that is.
It's a crackling kraken.
It's a cracker.
It's the way.
So, one thing actually, there was a lot of chat about Genesis atomizers whilst that VT was playing. Now, some of you may be aware, I did do a show many moons ago now on Genesis Atties, because they are still one of my favourite ways to vape. I still use them very extensively. And so would you guys in chat like us to revisit Genesis again at some point? Rian and I were talking during the VT, and we may have a couple of fun ideas. But, you know, I'm not going to disclose that right now. But, yeah, that'd be a bit of fun. The other thing I noticed chat were going on about as well was to vape like it's 2012.
Not to party like it's 1999.
No, that's going too far back. There's no vaping then.
Oh.
Yeah. There's fog machines, there's plenty of them.
Yeah. Aye.
Yeah.
The clean things, yeah.
Yeah. Were you vaping in 2012 or not?
No.
You weren't?
No, I'm only, it would have been 2 years on the 25th of March, so it's about 2 years in a week or so.
Okay.
For me.
Right.
I'm still a baby.
I just had a quick dig through my box of bits, and I did come across this, a carto tank with a cartomizer in it and still some liquid. I have absolutely no idea how this thing is going to taste. I mean, it looks a bit gunky, but you know what? I'm going to give it a go.
The proof is in the vaping after all.
I have absolutely no idea what resistance this is. Check atomizer. I was putting on something else. Oh, good God.
Resistance is too high for this device.
But it's still got some liquid in it. I have no idea what liquid's in it. So this is going to be an interesting one.
Apparently there was vaping in 1999 and 79 according to DD.
Okay.
Was he able to do a stainless steel mesh coil back in 1999 and 79?
Oh, yes. Right, so this is a 2.2 ohm coil, or cartomizer. I'm going to stick it at 20 watts and let's have a go. That draw is so tight. Good God. Also, that tastes really, really bad. It tastes like popcorn, actually.
It's not RY4, is it?
Could be. It could be anything at this point. Yeah. It tastes like popcorn.
Watch out for the diacetyl in that though. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on.
Moving on, yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah,
Go on, sorry, you were saying?
yeah, I'd also like to make it known to chat that that video was actually the second load of recording I did. Because I originally tried to do it the same way when you would roll your stainless steel mesh as you would to do it as a wick. And I just came up with a load of shorts because it kept on hitting the centre posts and stuff. So that's the reason why I went, I'll twist it instead. And it worked. Just.
Also, as well, I believe someone made a comment about that real men do this sort of thing live, do they?
I'm not a real man.
No?
No. I'm a figment of everybody's imagination.
Oh, fair enough. You're not really there.
No.
So,
despite the surname.
So I know I've mentioned this before, back when I first started on VTTV, and maybe I'll bring this forward because it's something I've been wanting to do for some time, is to get some vaguely old vaping gear, some, say, circa 2012 stuff, like Vivi Nova, CE4s, that sort of thing, which I still have some kicking around. And try and coil them up and using more modern techniques. I don't know how that would work. I mean, I know some people were using cotton in Vivi Novas at the time. There was a fairly old thread on UK Vapors about it, actually. And a lot of people rubbished the idea to start with. I guess that was kind of the beginnings of the using the cotton as a wick. So, yeah, maybe if chat's particularly interested, I might go ahead and do that. So have you actually used any of that stuff, Rian?
No, not really.
Right.
It's like I know they're about. I know they were about, but I guess it's because I came in, 2013 on Egos, then Pro Tanks, and then the setups I'm on now. So
okay.
It's like a few things that I've missed out because of when I joined the community, I guess.
I might actually maybe I'll drop some Vivi Novas and stuff around to you.
And so I can take them apart and fiddle.
Just see what you make of them. I mean, I remember at the time when I got my first Vivi Nova, and I had it on top of a lava tube. In fact, I ordered a lava tube, and I actually went to UK Vapors and said, what sort of tank would be, or what sort of atomizer would be ideal for a lava tube? And someone come back saying, oh, the Vivi Novas, they're really good. Okay, then I ordered some there, but they're pretty cheap. They're only about like a tenner or something. And so I ordered a couple of those, and I was in absolute heaven for a while. And then, what did I discover? The Clockworks RTA. It was made by a guy goes by the handle of Clockworks on UK Vapors, and he was based down in Cornwall. And he used to hand make these tank atomizers. Basically, it was a tank, and then you put a coil on the top, and you threaded the silica wick down into the tanks. It's kind of like a Genesis. And I actually put my first stainless steel mesh wick on one of those, and it was superb. But unfortunately, I don't have that anymore. I kind of wish I did. But,
An antique now?
Yeah. Did I trade it or sold it to someone? I can't remember now. It's just so long ago. It cost me about 50 quid, this thing, and that was a lot of money at the time when I first started. I thought it was expensive stuff. Yeah.
It's like entire setups now are like 50 quid.
Well, yeah, they can be. Or when you're looking to say the vapor flask, 50 quid.
Add 100 on it.
Plus a bit more. Yeah, not cheap. Very boring had a Clockworks RTA, had a cracked tank. You know, if you can get hold of him, VB, he'd probably replace it. I know he actually did send me a replacement tank, and I never used it. So yeah, but I've got so much stuff here that I've kept most of the stuff that I've started with and moved on from. It's a couple of bits I did get rid of. One of my big regrets was the steam machine by Atmo Mix Honey, or however you pronounce them.
The Greek one.
Yeah, that one. You know, the people that make Nemesis nowadays, they used to make this atomizer called the steam machine, and it was designed to fit on Ego batteries. And they actually even brought out a little Genesis add-on for it, so you could turn it into a little Genesis you stick on an Ego battery. And it was really, really good. It was superb stuff. But, oh, yeah, I just looked at the time as well. I think we're pretty much out. So, anything you'd like to add, Rian?
No, not really. It's good to be on the team fully now.
Aye.
And I guess more ridiculous challenges will be thrown at me in the future, won't they, Matt?
Well, you're not here just for the challenges. You know, you're here to, to help report on the going-ons in Wales and that sort of things. You know, you've got your finger on the pulse there, and it's a pleasure to have you on. I've got to be honest. So.
Oh, wait, thank you.
And you know, I've joked a few times about you being my co-host. Well, now
now it's official.
Now it's official. So there we go. Anyway, right. So yeah, I think that's it now. So I think until next week. So it's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from him.
Goodbye.
Ta-ta. Right. See you next week.
Joytech UK are proud sponsors of vapetrails.tv.